Hello guys, today I'll be talking about Burp Suite modules. So this is like a brief introduction to Burp Suite and a starter pack for the Burp Suite modules. So from here you can start and you can deep dive into Burp Suite and how everything works. So I'll just go with the tab by tab and explain all the modules so that you can get a clearer picture on the high level in Burp Suite. So I'll just open Burp Suite, and the first tab I'm going to explain is the dashboard. So dashboard has all the issue activities. So what and all issues have been found. That is not specific to the subset, the website you are scanning. And tasks, what and all tasks are running. And event log, what are the events? You can see the proxy service started at 127.0.0.1. So these kind of things. And advisory. This is not much to explain. The next tab is target tab. So there are three subtabs in target. The first one is sitemap. Sitemap gives you all the domains and the subdomains and the total folder structure of all the websites you're scanning. So here you can see I'm running OWASP BWA, and you can see all the subdomains or the subfolders you can see. And you can see website, and it will categorize all the requests according to your subdomains. Scope is where you can mention what and all you have to scan or what and all you will be intercepting. These kind of settings you can specify here. Normally it's always default, so if you want any customization you can just come and do that here. The next one is issue definitions. Here you can find all the issues, OS command injection, and you can see the description and all the references about this kind of vulnerabilities you can see over here. The next tab is proxy tab. So the first one is intercept. When your intercept is off and your proxy settings are right, it will intercept all the requests that is going from the browser to the website. It will be act as an intermediate proxy, and it will capture all the requests. So if I'm not switching it on, it will all be in the HTTP history. Whatever comes and goes, it will be in the HTTP history. What is the request gone and what is the response received for that. And this is the WebSocket history is used for the for example, if there is a persistent WebSocket needed. For example, let's say a chat application, you will be sending chat back and forth, but the server has to identify that you are in this session with this person. In that case, there is a connection called WebSocket connection that will have a persistent and will have an ID. So in that case, it will you can have a persistent connection, and you can test this WebSocket history over here. So what is the request you're sending and what is the response you are receiving, and how it reflects in the web application. The next one is options. This will have all the specifications for the default. You can see the default is proxy, and if you want to add any other proxy, you can do it here. And these are all customizations needed. Normally it will be default for most of the applications you are testing. Next one is intruder. So intruder is the one that is used for sending the payload as a request to the server. So here you can see, I'll just show you positions. In this, I have selected the positions as username, admin, and password as admin. So here, what are the combinations I can send? I can add a user list, the word list, or else I can specify the number of one by one list. So for that, I have to go to the payloads. Here I can specify what is the payload for that, for the username and the password. Here you can select the payload set 1, that is this one, the username, and payload set 2 is password. So you can specify what and all word list or the words you are going to give for the attack. That is the work of the intruder module. So the repeater module is a module that is used for repeating the requests again and again, and you can make slight changes in the request and see what is the response difference that you are getting. For example, I have here PHP session ID as FBT. So if I just remove the T, V, I'm just sending it again, and this is the response I get. So one by one response you can just analyze and to repeat the request. That is the repeater definition. Repeat the request one by one and see the difference. What is the use of sequencer? So sequencer is a module used for finding the granularity or the randomness of the cookie or the session ID generation mechanism. What does it mean? Let's see that one of the requests I have kept here. You can see the response here as chases session ID and it generates a session ID. So what I'll do is I'll just move it to the sequencer. So in this sequencer, you see it has already found the session ID as this. So I'm just going to start the live capture. It has already found that this is the one we are going to scan. So when I do the live capture, it will send a lot of requests. It will send a lot of requests one by one. And if you would give an auto analyze from 100, it will start to analyze on its own, and it will find the randomness or how effective that generation algorithm is there. The token generation algorithm is there, so it will find how much powerful it is, so that you can't predict the next session token. For example, if you can predict the session token, and you can just log in as any user, right? So that is the reason why this is used. It will take some time to analyze, and you can save the tokens as well. You can save it in the documents or wherever you want. I'll just save it as tokens 1. So if you just navigate to the folder and see this tokens 1, so you can see what are the tokens it got back. So based upon this, it will generate the algorithm's effectiveness. So you can see, right, if you can predict it like this is B and this is E, F, G, H, I. So if that is like that, then you can predict the session token, and the generation mechanism is not so good for that application. That's how you determine it. So the next one, we are going to see the next module. We're going to see the decoder. So decoder is used for just encoding and decoding text. So if you want to encode it with let's say ASCII or hex octal, we have a lot of options. Base 64 is the common one. So you can see if you want to encode it with base 64, you can do that. So there is an equal to padding or double equal to padding at the last, which is actually the sign for base 64 encoding. So if you want to decode it and want to generate it, so I'll decode as base 64 and I get the parser back. So for this module is used. This comparer is used for comparing two requests, so that we could find what is the difference in those requests or responses as well. You can just compare requests or responses so that you can find what is the difference. For example, if you will send it in repeater and make some slight changes and get response back, and you want to compare those both responses, you put it here. So it will compare it word wise or byte wise. So if you put it word wise, it will highlight what and all the changes have been made between these two requests. So this is the advantage of comparer. So you can compare two requests or two responses. Next one is logger. So the logger is used for logging every activity that is happening in Burp Suite. So what is the difference between HTTP history and logger? So that is one of the questions that will occur when you just work with the Burp Suite. So the difference is this will capture everything, including what and all activity you are doing. For example, it not only captures what is going through the proxy, but what is going through the tool. You can see this difference here. So these are all going through the proxy, but I just moved it to the repeater. This request has been moved to repeater. So the same way we did it, like we moved to comparer, we moved it to intruder, right? So those will also be captured. You can see it has been moved to sequencer. What are the requests gone through the sequencer? You see everything is logged over here. So this is the main thing of logger, main work of logger. And the next one is extender. The extender is used to add some extensions, custom scripts that you want to load into Burp Suite. So this is quite an advanced level topic. So it depends upon what you want to do in Burp Suite, how much you have to extend the functionalities of Burp Suite. So that's upon you. So these are all the tabs or the modules present in Burp Suite. And other than that, these are all user options. You can do some option settings, project options. And this is like a next level learning kind of materials you can find it over here. So I have covered all the topics just for a brief introduction in Burp Suite. I hope you like it. So thank you everyone for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.